Okay, thank you. So, sir, it is 10 seconds to go live.
Yes. All of you mute your mic.
So, sir, it's 3, 2, 1. We are live to the audience. We can start this program. Over to you, Yashwant, sir.
Great morning, everyone, and welcome to Life Pharma Coalition, a global knowledge and networking platform for pharma professionals. As you all know, every Sunday, 11 o'clock, we go live on Facebook and YouTube, and we invite industry experts to talk about current challenges and best practices across pharmaceutical industries. And we are very much privileged and we are very much humbled and grateful to each one of you for your continuous support, because today's episode is 170th episode. So last 170 weeks, we have been able to continue the momentum and bring new speakers to LPC, Life Pharma Coalition. Today's episode, LPC 170, is going to talk about one of the very important element of pharmaceutical sales professionals, and that is relationship with key opinion leaders. How we should build relationship and what is the significance of relationship with key opinion leaders, and not only that, how pharma companies can build those relationships. And to talk about that, we have one of the eminent speaker, Anjali Makhijani ma'am. She is the product manager in Saffron Saffron Formulations. She has been in pharmaceutical industry for last 5 years. And apart from Saffron, she has worked in HK Life Sciences and also in some of the health tech companies like Doc Plexus. She is having very good in-depth understanding about the key opinion leaders and KOL management. Fortunately, she is one of the first person who has taken this assignment of key opinion leaders in a pharma industry. So she knows the nuts and bolts of the relationship with key opinion leader. Apart from this, in today's session, we have some of the eminent personalities. We have Mr. Sandeep Bhatia, sir. He is one of the eminent person in pharmaceutical industry. Sandeep, sir, is having 37 years of experience in pharmaceutical sales and marketing in various company and major domain in gastroenterology, hepatology, and orthopedicians and oncology. Sir have been worked in Cipla, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, and his last stint was Cadila Pharmaceutical as joint director. Sir has recently started his own second inning, we can say, as a consultant and leadership coach. So we welcome Sandeep Bhatia sir also. Along with that, we have Mr. Vishnu Das Prabhu from Kerala, and Mr. Prabhu also, after having decades of experience in pharmaceutical, has started his career in sales, pharmaceutical sales training. Welcome, Vishnu. And our own core team member, Arasan Arumugam, is there,
you,
who is the zonal sales manager in WOCAD. He is a regular viewer and member. And our own ICS Verma sir is there, who is the moderator, panelist, and founder director of this Life Pharma Coalition. So a lot of learning we are going to have. Before starting, I request Anjali ma'am to give a brief overview what she is going to talk. Ma'am, your overview of your topic.
Thank you so much, Yashwantji, for giving a brief introduction regarding me. So my name is Anjali Makhijani, and today the topic that I've selected, KOL relationship management, is more to do with understanding how the KOLs are involved in the entire product life cycle. What we are missing today, the missing link, is that we are just involving the KOLs, but we are not sure that how we can engage them throughout the product life cycle and develop meaningful relationships. So through this, I want to address this and share some of my learnings.
Thank you very much. We look forward to learn from you, ma'am. And I go to Sandeep Bhatia, sir, now. Sir, thank you very much. First of all, congratulations for a long and comprehensive career in pharmaceuticals. As you're starting a second inning as a consultant, you want to share your expertise with industry colleagues. How do you feel and what is your plan, sir?
Yeah. So thank you very much, Mr. Yashwant. In fact, to be very frank, when I met you 3 years before, at that time, I was always thinking that this industry is such a vast industry that whatever you learn And if you do not reciprocate that, it will be within you. So why not take it forward in a way that today's generation, many years before also the pharma selling was same. Today also it is same. But the newness comes in terms of the experience. And I think sharing of experience plays a very, very important role. And my so much of journey which I have traveled in pharmaceutical industries definitely will help me. So just to give a brief introduction about myself, my journey started with Cipla, and I did work for 12 years there, rose up to the level of a regional manager. Then I moved to Dr. Reddy as a North sales manager and rose up to the level of cluster head with the 6 divisions operating under me and a team size of more than 1,200 people. Then definitely I got a chance to launch another new technology through Shilpa for a small thing. But again, I got an opportunity to come back to GI. So I joined Cadla, and in Cadla, I was last operating as a GI person, having the GI expertise. Why not capitalize on that? So now definitely the journey is going to be, I'm sure, very interesting. And my learning, as I say, that learning is a continuous process, and we should keep embodying learning on everyday basis. So I'll continue this journey with a lot of learning and sharing of my experiences which I had. Thank you very much, Mr. Yashwant, for giving this opportunity to me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. In future, we look forward for your session also as a core team member of LPC Life Pharma Coalition. And now I go to Vishnu Das Prabhu. Vishnu, again, welcome to Life Pharma Coalition. A brief about yourself, Vishnu.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me a wonderful opportunity with LPC. Myself, Vishnu Das Prabhu, and I almost served 15 years in pharma industry. My last company is with Cipla, regional business manager. Now I am starting my own training academy all over South, especially in focusing in South as well as all India. And basically, the learning is a continuous process. Everybody knows. So whatever the point we discussed in LPC, definitely it's a great experience for all of us, whether from this medical representative to the top management and all. So I'm following this LPC for last few episodes. I'm getting good knowledge as well as the experience from this expertise. So I all the best for this today's topics, KOL management. It's a bread and butter for each and every pharma professionals from down the line to top management. So thank you for the opportunity and welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vishnu. We look forward to learn from you. Now I go to Arasan Arumugam. Arasan, vanakkam.
Vanakkam, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Solungo.
First, I thanks for Anjali for giving the date, and as he told, his expertise first KOL manager in across India. She is lot of having experiences coordinating lot of program with the KOL, and no need mention about KOL in the parliament. People know KOL is the king of his territory, any territory. If you take care of the KOLs and relationship maintaining, you are the king. The company is the king. Today, the brand may be under a crore, but the first prescription came from the first KOL after convincing. It's so much difficult to managing KOL and maintaining KOL. So today is very, very useful topic in pharma industry. I am also looking forward to listen from Anjali.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arasan. And we look forward to learn from you. Now I'll go to ICS Verma, sir. Sir, what is your opinion? Because everyone knows you. What is your opinion about key opinion leader relationship?
Yeah, first of all, welcome all the panelists and the speaker to this wonderful session. We all know that we have customers and consumers are different in pharma industry, and we mostly focus on our customers who are doctors. But for doctors, there are influencers, because doctor don't directly any new or a junior doctor won't directly prescribe until and unless he sees a good prescription from a well-known doctor, which we call it as a KOL. So KOLs are the influencers in the industry, and they are actually the kind of the torch bearers for your prescription. So I think it's a very wonderful session and a lot of learning with Sandeep ji, as well as we have Vishnu and Arumugam and Yashwant sir is there. So we will looking forward to this discussion.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So we are definitely going to have a wonderful learning journey. Before handing over to Anjali for the presentation, a brief about our forthcoming LPC forthcoming episode I would like to share. As many of the viewers are new, a global knowledge and networking forum for pharma professionals. We invite speakers from manufacturing, sales and marketing, global packaging, supply chain, HR, and academics. These are some of our core team members who continuously support us in keeping the momentum. And these are some of the advisors and mentors who always guide us and create a momentum and take us to the future ahead. Not only that, this is what we are proud of. Pharma Ratna Universe Award we got recently by Pharma Ratna body, and it was a proud moment from each one of us. And we dedicate this Pharma Ratna Universe Award Healthcare Webinar of the Year, this trophy to each one of the viewers and supporters. These are some of the glimpses of our LPC Conclave, LPC 100 Conclave in Mumbai, LPC 125 Conclave in Ahmedabad, LPC Conclave 3.0 in SIS College, Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, and SIS and LPC 150 Conclave, Hyderabad, Naipur. And now we are gearing up for LPC 175 Conclave, Mumbai, which will be held on Sunday, 3rd September at Mumbai. 175 glorious episodes of learning and sharing. And we look forward from each one of you across the pharmaceutical industry to come and share their learnings and network with the industry professionals. This is what is today's session. KOL relationship and its significance in pharmaceuticals. And the speaker, as I mentioned, Anjali Makhijani, Product Manager, Saffron Pharmaceuticals. So ma'am is going to share about what is the significance of key opinion leaders management, right? And I request each and every viewers to keep on sharing their learnings and question in chat box. Once the presentation is over, we will address some of the relevant questions. With that, I hand over to Anjali ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yash. I will just share my screen.
Yes. Key opinion leaders are known as gateway of healthcare industry. You all will agree with me. Doctors are the gateway of healthcare industries, be it pharmaceuticals, be it medical insurance, be it corporate hospitals, be it pathologists. Everyone is dependent on doctors. So let us learn about key opinion leaders. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Very good morning and a warm welcome to everyone who has taken time and joined this Sunday morning for this presentation. So today's topic, as rightly mentioned, is all about KOL relationship management and its importance in pharma marketing. So before I start with the presentation, I would like to discuss some of the basics about the key opinion leaders. Who are actually key opinion leaders and how do we categorize the key opinion leaders? Okay, so coming to the definition, a key opinion leader is a trusted, well-respected influencer with a proven experience and expertise in a particular field. So as the name suggests, key opinion leader. From the word opinion, we can take the cues that these opinion leaders actually influence the brand advocacy, the brand awareness, and ultimately leading to the change in the behavior of the purchasing power of the customer. So basically, a key opinion leader are not always your customers, but sometimes influencing the decision of other customers. A key opinion leader, like, in pharma, how do we define who is a key opinion leader? So here are some of the characteristics that I would like to mention that you can define the key opinion leader. So in pharma, these are some of the key points you need to highlight or see before profiling any key opinion leader. One should be a professor of a medical institute, of a very well-reputed institute. He has been a speaker of various national and international conference or different events involved. He has published many research papers in a highly indexed medical journal, participated in a significant number of clinical trials, held a position as a board member with a respected organization. As we know, a lot of organizations, be it Foxy, be it RSSBI, be it different organizations that has been in different fields or therapy areas, treated or diagnosed high volume of patients in a single specialty area. So this is how we define a KOL in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, often what happens is we confuse between a KOL and a KBL. This has been always a confusion, especially when it comes to a mid-sized companies. We tend to, consider a KOL and a KBL same. Reason being that we think that, what happens is we consider that key opinion leader will directly turn into a prescription. They will start prescribing for our product. But we need to understand, like in FMCG or any other consumer product, we have an influencer who need not be a buyer of our product. But this person is influencing the other people to buy the product. So they are not directly, purchasing or buying your product, but they are influencing others to purchase the product. So I'm not saying that a KOL will not prescribe your product, but a KOL relationship will go in a long term, which will lead to the prescription driving in the KOL relationship. So basically, how do we differentiate a KBL and a KOL? KBL is a key business leader and a KOL is a key opinion leader. So as the name defines, a key business leader is somebody who has a high volume of patients, but need not necessarily that he will be involved in various organizations. He would be a good orator or he has a follower. That particular KBL might be a very good clinical expert who has seen or treated a lot of patients. But KOL is somebody whom a lot of people follow. From the young doctors to the high level of doctors, everyone has been following a key opinion leader. So this is how we need to differentiate between a KBL and a KOL. Now what happens is, a lot of time we start, correlating it to a direct business from a KOL. This is where sometimes we mistake, because as I mentioned that this is a long-term process, KOL relationship. We cannot expect, the return out of a KOL relationship at the start of our initiation or association with them. So this is a long-term process and which will eventually lead to a prescription. But for this, we need to take a lot of steps to build that relationship, which will lead to a complete brand advocacy in the customer's mind as well as in the KOL's mind. So these are the characteristics that are discussed. Giving example of one of the KOL, as you are already aware, Dr. V. Mohan is somebody like, he has been known in all the therapy segments, and many of us have already worked with him in a few of the events or other conferences. So just quoting an example of him that, this is how you identify a KOL. So as you can see, he has held various academic positions as a professor. He has published various articles in a highly indexed journals, and he has been involved in various reviews articles, be it international or national. He has also published many books which is related to his particular field, diabetes. So as you can see that he has, had a niche experience in the field of diabetes, which is helping or building his name in the field of diabetes. And today there are a lot of followers in the field of diabetology that actually see that what Dr. V. Mohan is prescribing, what Dr. V. Mohan is actually talking about, which particular molecule is he talking about, and interested in which areas. So this is how you identify a KOL for your particular engagement. So he has been involved in various medical organizations and bodies also, as you can see in the presentation. And he has received various national and international awards, including the BC Roy National Award, which is the highest level of award in the medical field. So this is how you categorize your KOL when it comes to the key opinion leader. So these are the characteristics you need to go through. So now coming to a very, very important aspect of the key opinion leader management, Like I said, some of us actually think that KOL engagement is just about involving them to a CME, an advisory board meeting, or involving them to a training or a speaker program. But it has much more to do. It is not just a one-time activity or an ad hoc promotional strategy, but it involves a complete life cycle. So as my slide says, that starting from the research and discovery to the clinical trials, to building the advocacy and to the product awareness and brand building, they play a major role. So when you are engaging any particular KOL, you need to understand that if you are launching a new molecule, or you are trying to promote an existing molecule, or you are trying to develop a brand, like you are going to build a brand. So these are the things you need to first understand, that what is the objective behind your particular brand. For India being a generic market, usually the brand advocates or the key opinion leaders usually come in the later part of the brand launch. Like, after the brand is being launched, the key opinion leaders are in. But I suggest, through my experience also, and through various international level KOL management that I have gone through, is that if we involve from the starting phase before launching a particular product, if we involve the KOLs, this is going to create a different thought leadership in the mind of these products. And how we can do it? So, for example, if you are about to launch a brand which is already existing in the market, okay, but you are just trying to understand what is the scope in a particular therapy area. So you can involve these KOLs, a group of KOLs, speaking about the scope of that particular molecule in the therapy area. Through this, you will be able to analyze if it is addressing identifying an unmet need, healthcare need. And through this, you will have the confidence whether the brand that I'm launching will get the acceptance or not. So you are already creating the noise level in the market through involving the KOLs discussing about the product which you have not launched. Secondly, you are getting an opinion directly from the horse's mouth, who have been very clinical expert in the field of their particular molecule or a particular therapy area. You're getting directly their opinion. Thirdly, this will create in their mind that, okay, this was the first company that approached me before launching a particular molecule, and I have involved as the core group of this particular molecule, and we will advise the organization or the brand manager regarding this. So this is how you set yourself aside from the other companies before the launching of your brand. Then involving them in the clinical trials. So if it is a very new molecule, if it is an innovator molecule, of course, there are a lot of clinical trials involved. So during the clinical trials, you can involve the KOLs through the design. So you can involve by designing a clinical trial, you can involve them in setting up the basic hypothesis as well as how the design of a clinical trial is going to be, and advice regarding the product profiling and labeling. Lot of times, for giving an example of metformin. So metformin is usually used in diabetes, but it also has a different use in terms of birth control. Nowadays, it is also used in gynecology segment, where it is used in PCOS also. Okay, so we are now segmenting and positioning it in a altogether different therapy area. So this is the area where a KOL can suggest you that if we should go to a new therapy area and if we should promote it in a particular segment. So KOLs will play a very important role in your clinical trial. Thirdly, after the brand is launched, they will play a major role in providing information about the drug benefits, and they will be sharing their own results. So some of the KOLs will be directly involved because they have been involved since the beginning. So they will take up the brand and they will enroll the patients into their own clinical trial and publish the results and studies. So in turn, this will create more product awareness. Through this, we can, have many publications on how we had engaged the KOLs, have different medical programs, and contribute to the patient management. So this is a complete product life cycle that you can involve the KOL into. So quoting one of the very known example of our very own pharmaceutical organization, Zydus, which had launched a innovator molecule, which is lipaglyn saraglitazole. So when saraglitazole was launched, this was a completely new molecule. India being a generic market, lot of the doctors were not aware about the benefits of saraglitazole. It was very necessary that we have sufficient data about the molecule before launching that particular product. And to gain that acceptance in the minds of the doctors, it was actually essential to involve the KOLs right from the start. So as you can see, Dr. Shashank Joshi, who is a very famous endocrinologist and diabetologist and a researcher and a very well-known researcher, he was involved in this particular trials of lipaglyn. So since the beginning, he was involved in the clinical phase trial, right from the phase 3 to phase 4, and actually the launch of the product. So KOL relationship management, especially when there is a new molecule to be promoted, you have to understand that the acceptance will be high if we involve a KOL compared to just publishing a study involving different patient profile. You need to understand that having the name of KOL will make a difference in the mind of the customers. Now, talking about developing brand advocacy through involving different associations. As you know that there are many prestigious associations, and that involves the KOL, KBLs, the general customers, the doctors who are actually prescribing the product. If we associate with such society, then of course our product will get much more acceptance, much more brand awareness, and much more, that will create that, okay, my brand is going to remain in the minds of those doctors. So if you involve the KOLs who are associated with a particular association, it can be Cardiology Society of India, it can be RSSBI, it can be Diabetes Society of India, or Nephrology ISN, that is Indian Society of Nephrology. So these are some of the societies you can associate with from the start so that you create that brand advocacy in the mind of the customers. Now talking about indirect KOL relationship marketing. So what, as you can see, this is one of the snippet that I've shared again from saraglitazole, the lipaglyn brand. So this was one of the editorial which was published after the launch of the product, after the success of this particular molecule. As you can see, it says from make in India to made in India. So through this, we are actually establishing that the product was something which was actually an innovator molecule. It was a successful brand, and lot of doctors have actually accepted it. What is the further research that has been going on in the molecule? So as you can see that, okay, the product has reached at the mature phase, but we cannot just stop it at that level that, okay, our brand has been successful and now we can only drive the prescription. It is not enough sometimes. As you know that pharma market is a highly competitive market, and we cannot just sustain the same market share year on year. It keeps on changing every time. So you always have to build that connect with your customer, and through editorial, which is just not related to the scientific aspect of the product, but an emotional and a social concept about the product is much more required sometimes to create that brand awareness. So as you can see that this editorial talks about how this brand created a legacy, how it is going to further, what research areas there are further going to take place. And the most important part is, especially for the molecules which are losing the patent. As you know that linagliptin is now going to lose its patent, and there are a lot of companies actually now who are going to launch this particular molecule in the market. And same with vildagliptin, which had happened, and sitagliptin also. Once the patent was off, then lot of companies started, promoting that particular patent and, developing that relationship with the customer. So you tend to lose that market share. So every time you have to evolve with a new therapy area, new segment, new positioning, so that you don't lose that market share. So now this is an example again of lipaglyn, where they had talking about the use of this particular product in a different indication. So as you can see, Dr. Banshi Sabu, Dr. Shashank Joshi are involved in this particular trial as well, which talks about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which was the untapped area for this particular product. So as you can see, you can involve the KOL in proposing the new research areas and positioning also. You can ask them that this particular new area, does it have a scope? Can we have a clinical trial based on this? Can this indication work? And involving them in this clinical trial so that they firstly accept this particular molecule and advocate it to the customers. Okay, so this poster present, as you can see in the snippet, this poster presentation abstract is taken from AACE ADA, which was promoting saraglitazole in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The huge success of this particular product was this, that they had, involved the KOL in a different indication. So now even a gastro will accept this particular molecule, where only the diabetologist and endocrinologist were prescribing the product. Now in NAFLD also, the gastros have taken up this molecule. So this is how the life cycle of the product, throughout the life cycle of the product, you can involve the KOL. So what are some of the benefits through which you can extract from the KOL relationship? So firstly, as I mentioned, early adoption of the brand. As the doctor, as the KOL is actually experiencing the first-hand experience of the product, it will lead to the early adoption of the brand for the KOL himself and for the customer. Secondly, you will receive an instant feedback because the KOL is actually using your product. So you will get feedback as during the clinical trial also and while you are launching the brand. So you will receive an instant feedback of the brand because you have already involved that opinion leader, increasing the number of patients on the therapy. If you're doing a lot of clinical trial, of course, patients will get habituated that particular brand. After the launch, I'm talking about after the launch, if you are conducting various clinical trial at the particular in-clinic studies, this will make the patients habituated on that particular brand, and which will in turn lead to the increasing number of patients on the therapy. This gives KOL a brand ownership that today, okay, I was involved of this brand since the beginning of the product, since the launch of the product or before it was launched. So it will make me feel that I am highly important to the organization and to the brand, and which will in turn build a long-term relationship and partnership with the particular KOL and develop a customer loyalty in a long run. So these are the benefits that are highlighted of the KOL relationship management. Now talking about what are the different types of KOL engagement activities that one can carry out. One thing is regarding the speaker training program. Speaker training program is actually a KOL speaking to a set of young doctors as well as the mid-level doctors, talking about a particular therapy area, about the molecule, or sometimes about how the treatment protocol is all about. Now, talking about medical advisory board meetings, this involves the set of KOLs, a core group of KOLs who are involved in either talking about the guideline or talking about the approval of a particular product or developing a consensus about how this molecule should be launched and which indication it must be launched. Peer-to-peer presentation. So once the product is launched, I am like, for example, a KOL has a core group of friends. So we can involve this core group of friends together for an informal chat over a coffee or over a dinner table where they can discuss about this particular brand being launched and how the usage has been so far. So how the experience of that particular KOL has been after using this product and what influenced him to take this product at the first. So now talking about the clinical trials also, which I've already discussed, this clinical trials holds a lot of importance to for your promotional material also. For it gives a sense of confidence to the medical representative also while he's talking about a research molecule or he's talking about a different indication of a already established molecule. So clinical trials from a KOL holds a value in the mind of other doctors while you're going and promoting it. So this can be either in the print form or in the digital form, or different snippets or programs that you can create from your clinical trials. Next, talking about the disease awareness. Quoting one of the example of Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk has recently launched a partnership in breaking the partnership of obesity and diabetes. So this was one of the interesting campaigns which you can see on Twitter as well as on Facebook. So what they had done, they had involved Dr. Amrish Mittal and they had involved Kapil Dev in this particular campaign. So what they were talking about is breaking the partnership through having somebody who is out of this medical field. Having Kapil Dev was talking about breaking the partnership and winning in diabetes because he has been, winning a World Cup for us. So he's somebody who can influence the patients, to understand about this product. And Dr. Amrish Mittal, who had been involved in the product since the start. So both of this actually creates a brand awareness, talking about the disease and how we can help to prevent it indirectly. So you are directly touching the consumer base also. So these are different types of KOL engagement activities one can carry out. So lastly, I will talk about how do you differentiate between a KOL marketing and influencer marketing. A lot of companies, as I mentioned, that they are doing CMEs, that they are doing digital initiatives, but we are not able to differentiate that how or what is the difference between just having a KOL involved in a particular talk and to building a long-term relationship. So as you can see, KOL marketing, it is preferred to have experts from the same therapy area, field or expertise in the particular molecule. Influencer marketing, you need not have the experts in the same therapy area, field or expertise in a particular molecular brand. For example, if you involve Dr. Devi Shetty, who is a very well-known in the medical field, you are involving him to talk about your brand. He need not be a KOL in a particular molecule or a therapy, but he can be a good influencer of a particular promotional strategies. Okay. For example, if there is a Women's Day and you are involving Foxy, Foxy is a Gynec Association of India. So if you're involving this particular association for promoting your brand, which has nothing to do with gynecology segment, but since it is related to women's health, if you're involving them, that is to do with influencer marketing rather than KOL marketing. And as mentioned, KOL marketing is not just one-time activity. It is about involving them throughout the product life cycle. And it is not just a transactional relationship that you are involving them into a particular program only. And if you want to develop a prescription from a KOL, you need to understand that you are not going to get the direct ROIs in the very beginning. It is a long-term process. And you need to understand that in consumer or in the other segments, we see that, lot of nutritional, lot of fit people are promoting a particular brand. But a particular company is not expecting them the ROI of this particular brand that, that influencer is promoting on Instagram or Facebook. But in pharma, what we tend to mistake is that we expect that, okay, if this particular KOL is promoting my product, he has to write my product since the beginning. It doesn't happen in the beginning. You have to build that relationship with the KOL, and you need to understand that this KOL is somebody who's going to influence other customers. So you are not going to get a direct ROI, but the ROI will be a long-term prescription of all those customers who has been influenced through this brand advocacy of a KOL. So tangible outcomes and business generation from the engaged customers is expected in the long term. But in influencer marketing, you cannot expect the same kind of return or outcome because you are just involving a doctor in a particular program. You cannot expect that, I will get an ROI out of it. It should be a complete cycle where starting from your brand manager to your senior management to your medical rep who has been continuously hammering and being a part of, in-clinic activities, clinical trials, and as well as different promotional inputs, which is involving a KOL. So I will just run through a different steps in KOL management. Initially, you have to identify a KOL who will be a suitable KOL for your particular therapy area molecule. Then you have to profile this particular KOL, whether he's suitable for discussing this molecule. Now, what happens is, now if I'm launching a diabetes molecule, I will have a bias that, okay, I will have a so-and-so doctor in my particular brand launch. But we need to understand whether this KOL is interested to talk about this molecule, whether he has been researching about this molecule, is he going to accept this molecule? Because what happens is we just have a set names in our mind that these are the KOLs in a particular area, and we go towards them to approach. But we need to understand whether a KOL is interested to talk about my molecule, whether he is going to have this sense of ownership about my brand. Then only you are going to select that particular KOL. So profiling is very much important, that you need to see what kind of activities that particular KOL is engaged in, what molecule he is continuously talking about, what are the associations that he has been engaged, what are the followers that he has currently. Then you segment these particular KOLs. Now, why to segment? Now, for example, some KOLs will be only interested in scientific talks. You cannot expect them to have them in the peer-to-peer interaction, or you cannot expect them to have in the disease awareness campaign, like Dr. Amrish Mittal and Kapil Dev campaign that I spoke about. You cannot have them in those informal events. Some doctors are only interested in talking about clinical trials. Some doctors are initiated only in social initiatives. So you need to segment that which part, which KOL is going to address which particular target audience. Some of them are going to address my patients, some of them are going to address my young doctors, some of them are going to involve in my clinical trials, and some are going to help the customers, have a brand awareness about my own. Then you select, based on the segmentation, you select that particular KOL, and then you continuously engage. So this is a continuous cycle, a lifelong cycle, which until and unless your brand is existing, this cycle continues and does not end. So all of us, be it young pharma marketers or be senior marketers, we need to understand that KOL relationship is a long-term outcome. It is as a learning process that we mentioned at the start of the presentation. Like the learning process is continuous, a KOL engagement is also continuous. Sometimes engaging a KOL, we might realize that our product holds a lot of importance than we actually thought. So you need to engage these KOLs in a long term, and profiling and segmenting is one of the important parts of the KOL management. So thank you so much. I hope I could address some of the key points to this presentation, and I'm open to insights and discussing some of the practical experience as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anjali. Comprehensive and to the point presentation we all thoroughly enjoyed. Although being in pharma for long, I, Sandeep sir, we are aware about what is KOL, what is KVL, that awareness was there. But the in-depth analysis you did today was really a good learning for us. We used to involve KOL only as a speaker, right, in some events. So that we will get some relationship with him. But today you have shared that apart from inviting KOL as a speaker in the event, what other things pharma companies can do. It is really a wonderful session. So before we go for the discussion and question answer, let me take a brief outcome or take home points from the session. You started with a wonderful way of involving KOL, and that is what you can do. Research, you can engage key. First you talked about what is the difference between key opinion leader and key business leader, and according to you, key opinion leaders are something who are very much expertise in the in that subject area, maybe a professor in a college or some person who is good orator. But key business leader on the other hand can be a dynamic young professional. You can give him more business, not a good orator, but can give you business. Now you went to key opinion leaders and 5 ways to engage them. You told we can engage KOL in research, clinical trial, advocacy, product awareness building. These are the segment we can involve them. And you gave a very good example of two of the KOLs, Dr. Mohan and Dr. Shashank Joshi, who are actually in diabetology. They are the subject matter expert and they are the industry. Then you told about one of the case study of PPAR alpha, that is Dr. Bansu Sabu, how he has created awareness about PPR alpha product through the article, and definitely Shashank Joshi. Now you told about benefit of KOL engagement, early adoption of brand, instant feedback, increased number of patients, giving KOL a brand ownership, building long-term partnership and customer loyalty. These are the benefit of engaging KOLs. Not only that, you also differentiated about key opinion leader KOL marketing and influencer marketing, where according to you, KOL marketing is more sustainable, long-term, right? While influencer marketing, inviting of some celebrities like Priyanka Chopra or Kapil Dev or Virat Kohli may give visibility to your brand, but long-term patient relationship, we cannot think of that. And you told about the steps of KOL marketing. First is identifying the KOL, then profiling, then segmentation, selection, and engagement. Overall, wonderful session. We all thoroughly enjoyed. I would like to go to Sandeep Bhatia sir now. According to him, his opinion, because he has managed many of the KOLs in his tenure, what is your opinion, sir? How we can engage, or any case study you want to share?
Yeah, sure. Sure. First of all, Anjali, thank you very much. I think the few points I would like to talk about you, because since this is my first platform, and I said that learning is endless process, it always continues. So Anjali, I think you spoke with very good ownership. Once you have ownership for certain things, I think the things become really with good flow and with ease of mind. So I really understand, and I have a suggestion for you. You must repeat this topic 6 months down the line once more. I think it is really going to help you, because consolidation is the way of life. So I strongly agree. I think you have touched some of the final points, because KOL gives you engagement with KOL gives you an opportunity to be with the finer minds of the industry. These are the subject matter expert, and when you are engaging them, I think it is really going to be meaningful. And another important aspect is, I think in life, as I said, more than 3 decades I've spent in the industry. KOL is like a relay. You touch that point in the end very well, because it is not one man or one woman show. It is a team show, in which the marketing is involved, the medical is involved. There are certain passionate, even if we see some of the medical reps in the company for 30 years, but the kind of relationship we have with KOL is mind-boggling. So it is relationship factor, then the involvement of even the head of the department or even the CMD of the company. It is complete networking, brick walling of things, which really helps. So I have a lot of things which I can share, but definitely I would say, Anjali, good show, keep it up. And I'm sure people are definitely going to get benefited. I will definitely keep adding more points as I sail through in this LPC live pharma collations in times to come. Good show.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good points you have shared. I would like to go to Vishnu Das now. Vishnu Das, you're also first time in LPC and you have been in pharma for long. Can you share something about your opinion about how to build relationship? What point you liked most? Yes, Vishnu.
So it's a wonderful presentation, Anjali ma'am. We have covered almost all the major points, starting from the researcher, the trials, and the influencer, everything. So the most important point I like is that it is a continuous process for the product life cycle, from starting from the launching to the growth and the penetration, everything. So this is a continuous process, and every level of management, especially these KOLs, are handled by the medium level of management, and they are taken up to the higher management. The KOLs are also most influencer in the market, they are attracting the young doctors. So I had a very good experience with this KOLs, and during my tenure in Cipla, I conducted one PG quiz program. So that gives me a lot of good insights, because they are young doctors are more attracted to these KOLs. Whatever the activities we are associating with the senior doctors, KOLs, they are always happy to associate with. Without the pressure from the pharma company, they are ready to come and attend this kind of activities. So these are the major points we will get. We can build young doctors through our KOLs. And one more thing I like to add to this point is that we are right now we have discussed only in doctor front. So there are another KOL set of there in the market, because we are associating with the stockist, we are associating with the chemist. So these two customers are really important for developing these KOLs. Okay, so in the field of distribution also, there are so many KOLs are there. We can influence the distribution system to the network, and the retailers also. Nowadays, they are very good association. Each and every state they are having association, and there are key peoples handling these associations. So if as a pharma company, we can associate more with all the customers in the pharma, so this will be a teamwork, and the product will be flourish in the market within a short span of time if you are engaging all the set of customers. So that point I like to add, and rest all everything is covered. Thank you, Anjali ma'am, for the valuable insights, and thank you, Yasin sir. Thank you, Admi, for this LPCT. Thank you,
Thank you very much, Vishnu. Good point you have shared. ICS sir, your opinion about KOL relationship.
Yeah, so I think Vishnu has touched upon the other segments of pharma industry where KOLs are also there in the distribution, because I am one of the distributor now in Hyderabad. So usually people say that whether these products are available with these kind of distributors or not. So it definitely matters a lot when you are talking about the overall industry. And because Anjali has covered the entire the flow of the product life cycle and the KOL management in when it comes to prescription and from the beginning to the ending of the brand evolution. But you see, like the way LPC is bringing KOLs. So that is also an influential kind of thing, that is how you develop the leaders across industry. And when it comes to the experience, when I was in the field of marketing and sales, usually the youngsters they always used to ask, like for example in Vijayawada, Dr. Babu Rao, he is considered as a god in chest, chest related anything is there. If Babu Rao sir is prescribing, then you don't even need to ask others ki sir iska ye effect hai. They used to see sir is prescribing, acha master is prescribing. So that kind of like Somrazu in Hyderabad in cardiology. So they actually influence, because there are a lot of followers for these doctors, and that's what I think Anjali also bring into the case study of Dr. Mohan, who is considered to be one of the pioneer in diabetic segment. So these people not only just give you the prescription, but actually set a kind of a trend that's where the followers are going to take up. Even you meet, I have seen people take up the prescription even if you don't meet them, especially the interiors, just because a leading cardiologist is prescribing in a town or in a city. So the most important, and it was really I'm really thrilled to actually watch the entire episode where she brought in a lot of value addition to the entire management of KOLs. So yeah, maybe in the discussion we will.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Can I go to Arasan Arumugam? Your opinion about the session and about your relation with KOL?
Thoroughly, I enjoyed the session, especially when Anjali explained with photo with the doctor name. It's very clearly easy to understand what is a KOL and KBL. and with Shashank Joshi try, because since I was in 20 years in Zydus, I have live person work sitting here to our Lipaglin launch experience. She is very correctly told. We have to involve from the beginning, any activity, any CME, want brand building, just like approaching today, talk on tomorrow may not be give that much benefit. He may talk, but he will not give the speech with the conviction. Because 20 years in Zydus, almost I was in first line manager in Madurai when Lipaglin launched. We Dr. Taj Water, I remember Dr. Arthur Asivadam, K oil was there. But one audience asked the one question. Do you have any doctor having experience here who's sitting here? So Shashank Joshi was in Mumbai. That time he unable to travel to Madurai. So he unable to answer one question. So when MNC is launching India, any molecule, they'll bring the person or doctor who involved in the clinical trials for what bit of the molecule. They come to India, they will conduct the meeting. There's some question asked, they will share the live experience. For them, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, what happened, where went wrong, what their personal experience and all. So very clearly told, when launching any molecule, we should touch with doctor with the entire company. Like see, Sudeep are told. Sudeep are told from PMT, marketing doctor, because some doctor, I experienced that Lipaglin talk was that tomorrow, the whole night the doctor was asking so many evidences, because he want a conviction. He want to understand the molecule. So then only he can give very good convincing talk where all the audience will get benefited. The message will reach the public. So I'm very proud the Anjali's presentation. As I thought, because she was a KOL handling for so many years. This is the right person to talk about this topic. Nice, ma'am. In the going time, see, I want to share one more experience about like how the KOLs help the brand building. So in second round, I will share one more brand.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you very much, Ramugam. It was really a nice introduction. Let me go to the viewers now. A lot of viewers have appreciated our session and some questions are also there. Let me recognize them. Krishna Senthil, kudos to LPC team. Great morning to all. It is regarding QL. Krishna Senthil says, regarding QL, every interviewer asking candidate how many KOL you know personally. That is the importance in pharma, right?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Sri Vishnu says good topic, looking forward. And then we have Vinay Thad. Good insight on managing and developing KOL. Thank you very much, Vinay, for appreciating our session. Then we have Krishna Senthil. He is asking, uh, mm, for sustainable growth, every company should have KOL, customer management engagement plan. That is true. Every company should think about a long term, because KOL relationship is not a overnight phenomena. We need to invest time long term. It is a slow and steady process. So they need to be very much sensible for KOL learning. Then some of the more people who have appreciated, and Santosh Anand, proud moment for us, Anjali ma'am. Good presentation. Vinay Dad, good insight. So Abid Hussain have appreciated. Thank you very much, everyone, for your all appreciation and thoughts. Yeah, there is a question. Question says, ma'am, many of the KOL, they are very egoistic and they don't entertain small companies, right? So any do's and don'ts you would like to suggest to pharma sales people, because they are very sensitive to our approach, do's and don'ts, some tips how we should not hurt their ego while engaging with them. If you can share something, because many companies they have shared, people they will be annoyed, then they will boycott the company. Any tips you want to give?
Yes, this is a very good point and a question actually, which I had also experienced with my colleagues while I was working at Asta. Asta is a very new company, relatively newer company than all the diabetes players in the market. So what used to happen is most of our ABMs and RBMs were slightly, hesitant to go to a KOL and talk to them about any of the promotional strategy or the initiatives that we wanted to involve. So I think there the management, the PMT plays a very much role in building that communication. So if I'm able to communicate well to my internal customer, that is my ABM, RBM, and across all the field colleagues, if I am able to make them understand that how you should communicate to the doctor, It will give them a sense of confidence. Secondly, while you're promoting any particular initiative, you need to have a clear-cut objective with a one-pager or two-pager given to a field representative. This gives him enough confidence to talk about that initiative that even if he forgets what he has to talk about, this gives a ready reckoner for him to talk to that doctor and the doctor can actually read. So in this case, I would say to summarize in a nutshell that right from your PMT, right from your upper management, you need to train your field force to how to talk to a KOL. While you're talking to your trade doctors, it is completely different. And while you're talking to a KOL, you need to understand what sort of communication requires and what you're going to actually speak about daily.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good insight you have shared. I would also like to add one point. We during CIPLA tenure, we also used to deal with many of the KOLs. They're so much sensitive about our approach that we should be very, very careful while dealing with them, while discussing with them. If you share the name of any other doctor in front of them, they feel hurt. These are the small things they should use. I remember one symposium on asthma symposium we used to conduct once in a year, and some 8 to 9 doctors were there. And we need to manage all these 8, 9 doctors in one invitation flyer. And the graphic designer who was creating the flyer, one of the important pulmonologists, see, her name was also there, but her degrees were a lot, around 10 to 11 degrees she was having, the MD, DM, and FRCS, like that. So because of the space constraint, last 2 degrees he deleted that graphic designer. And by seeing the invitation, the ma'am was so much annoyed. He said, how dare you can delete my degree, my that, I am the only doctor in India who have done this degree. And literally that doctor did not come to the event because of that small mistake by graphic designer. The point here why I'm sharing is we should be very much sensible while dealing with them. A small mistake from our side can deteriorate the relationship. So as Anjali ma'am rightly said, training of salespeople while dealing with them, do's and don'ts, very, very important because they are very, very sensitive. They have good knowledge, they have good following, but we need to be very sensitive, and always some seniors should be involved in dealing with Coel. Sandeep sir, your opinion about this before we go for the closing remarks.
I think very right, because as I repeat, I think it is a teamwork. What happens is the roadmap should be clear when we are going to build a KOL, because your success as a person or as a leader in the clinic is when a KOL recognizes your medical rep. Because if he is able to recognize you, then definitely the game is completely in your favor. Because in this case, you cannot be I. You cannot say that I'm a vice president of the company and I enjoy a relationship. The day I comes, I think the battle is lost. We are building KOL for the organization, not for individual. And if we understand this and everybody gets involved in that, from a medical rep to a top level person, I think we will be winning him forever for the organization. And your sole purpose should be to work for the organization. In turn, you get benefited. In turn, definitely you have an advantage. So no I in this factor, it should all be we, whether it is a product manager, whether it is a marketing head, whether it is a HOD or the owner of the company or a medical rep. I think that is most important. The fear will automatically go when we will go as a team, because it is the relay race. It is always, as I said, the baton is handled. We see that if it is 4 into 400 meter, the baton is forwarded from one to other, and it is done so swiftly that people enjoy, and the winner comes out very clearly. So very well asked question, and I think this is possible, and we all have done it, and we can definitely come out of any fear, any apprehension, provided we have the roadmap is ready with us.
Yes, sir. I want to, with your permission, I want to add one point. I told that company KOL is approaching difficult. I agree with you. There are some doctors, top KOL, they see the banner, which company, the company banner. But still, I say you can categorize KOL in 2 ways. One is well established senior person who earn money, name everything. He want a platform. There should be some under audience. You want to press. You want to satisfy with the audience. If you approach him with the right platform, sir, I want to have a CME as a speaker or chairperson. There are 100 doctors going to come. This is a water charge, water something, some new molecule, some talking. One way you can approach this KOL, different way. Another one type of KOL, young KOL, I mean, it's not KOL, they are the making of KOL. They are the DM Endo or DM Onco, they're very super specialty. Gold medalist, AIMS or PhD Chandi or something, but recently passed out. He is not having good OP. Entire certificate is there in the clinic, but no OP is there. Such a doctor, you can approach him, sir. I have one CME, the APA, IME, next town, another 20, 30 doctors going to, referral doctor going to come. So you address to them. So this actually he is waiting for that. You will not see the company background. They are giving platform, no, I will flourish myself. This is the making of CME. These two type of customers, we have to identify which KOL, how to approach. If a Dr. K. Morgan means, if a single word by K. Morgan KOL, it will shake the entire society like pioglitazone. If we touch it about pioglitazone, this market will change. So KOL is very, very important for us. Very good, Anjali. You mentioned the right name of Dr. K. Morgan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arasan sir. Good insight you have shared. Some more comments and questions have come. Ranjit Tiwari from Sipla says it is very much important to deal with KOL. It is very sensitive. Rachit Agrawal says it is very relevant in today's context. To build a sustainable business, we need to have KOL relationship. Then Manikam Subramaniam has an opinion. Nice presentation, ma'am. As an effective MR, without the help of HO people, within 1 minute appointment, we need to make a turn up towards the communication and brand. And it is very important for discussing with KOL. We need to take appointment. Thank you very much. No comment. This is not a question. It is a comment he has said. Thank you very much, Manikam, for sharing your thoughts. So overall, very useful topic, says Bhavik Patil. Thank you very much. So a lot of appreciation we have been presenting, but really topic is very relevant in today's concept when the companies are looking forward for building a sustainable business. So before closing, we are already late in session, but really fruitful session. I would like to go to each one of you for your closing remarks. How did you find the feedback or your take-home message for the audience? Anjali ma'am, thank you very much once again for accepting our invite. Your closing remarks to the audience.
Thank you so much for having me again for LPC. My closing remarks for the audience is that, as I mentioned, KOL relationship is a long-term process. You need not expect the ROI since the start, but I'm sure that this will have a long-term and a fruitful association with the customer and build a long-term relationship with the organization. So over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Vishnu, over to you. Closing remarks.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity again. The selection of the KOL is very important. This is my learning from this session, because this selection will give you the life of the product. So if you are selecting proper KOL with the proper engagement and whatever you are launching, so that will give a very good life in the industry. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sandeep sir, your closing remarks.
Definitely very, very engaging session. And I think 2 points only I would like to say. The first is that definitely the KOL management should be definitely a stair approach. It should not be an approach which is like a lift. You have to climb up step by step. And you must understand that how it will be done and what will be the advantage. If we are really able to understand that, I think we'll be able to climb up step by step and we'll definitely be able to reach with lot of experience and sustainability.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Arumugam, sir.
Yes, closing remarks. As I told you, KOL is the king of the territory and the domain. If you and your company have the strong relation with KOL, you are also the king.
Thank you. Thank you. ICS, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, so it has been a great session and a lot of insights. there is one take home or one message from my side is always remember that when you're involving KOLs, involve them ethically, and that's going to be a long term and are going to build a great company as well as a brand.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Once
sir. Thank
again,
you.
some more comments are coming. Vinay third. Second rung of KOL development is very limited in diabeto and endo specialties. So what I understand by this is Vinay Thad is into diabeto endocrinology, and according to him, there are already a lot of KOLs are there in diabeto and endocrinology. So there is a second rug of KOL need to be developed. That is true, because its market is very saturated, but the market is very huge. If you say diabetes market in India, diabetes and endocrinology is very huge market and growing market. So we need to create this engagement with young upcoming diabetologists, young
Right.
and upcoming endocrinologists for the future, Lord. Thank you very much, Vinay, for sharing your opinion. So I thoroughly enjoyed today's session, very interactive, informative. Thank you very much, every viewer. Before closing, just to remind, LPC 175 Conclave, Mumbai, Sunday, 3rd September. I request Anjali ma'am, Sandeep Bhatia, Vishnu and Arasan also to block your dates and come. This is a physical event. We have been looking for this type of event every time. So this next one is going to happen in Mumbai. So other details we will definitely share. We look forward to you all to meet there. And thank you very much, all the viewers. Take care. And with next week, again with the next speaker will come with the next session.
Thank
you
for
very
the
much.
opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the panelists
And bye bye everyone.
and viewers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.